歡迎大家出席今
Welcome to today's press briefing. We have on the stage two doctors with us. Dr. Zhang Shukwan, Head of Communicable Disease Branch, Center for Health Protection, and Dr. Sarah Ho, Chief Manager of Hospital Authority. Dr. Zhang will give you an update of COVID cases. Good afternoon. Yesterday, we identified 257 PCR positive cases, 50 reported by Hospital Authority, 27 reported by the Public Health Laboratory Service, and 180 reported by private laboratories. As for RAT positive cases recorded and declared on the platform and confirmed by PCR tests, there are 301. So altogether, we have 558 positive cases recorded today. Cumulatively, we have 1.2,003,596 positive cases. We also have 16 imported cases, including 13 cases arriving in Hong Kong via 7 flights on the 7th of June, and 3 other cases arriving in 6th of June via 1 flight, and 38 cases picked up in designated quarantine hotels, and also 9 cases picked up only 7 days after the start of the quarantine period, and 3 of them are in isolation centers, and they have been regarded as close contacts because of the accompanied persons being positive. As for 2 other cases, they have very high CT values, so these 2 are repositive cases. For the other one, upon testing on the 8th and 9th day, because of his departure, he tested positive, but he's left Hong Kong. As for 2 other cases, they were picked up on the 12th day, and they've left the hotel, and they have been in the community. The 2 cases have CT values of 11 and 20 to 30 respectively. They could be local cases. As for another case, he arrived in Hong Kong on the 29th of May, and after leaving the hotel, he stayed in a residential building, Sing Yue Mun, Tower 2 in Chatham Road North, and we suspect the case to be BA.4, and during his stay, he went to ATAS on the ground floor of Pennington Street, number 9 to 11, in the residential building Deng Long Gok. He went there between 1 and to 2 p.m. and also on the other day, on the 6th of June, between 3 to 4 p.m., he went to Kei La Bak Chun in Tsim Sha Tsui, and these premises would be subject to compulsory testing notices. As for residential care homes, we've recorded the 3 care home cases involving staffers. 2 worked in an RCHE, and the other works in an RCHD. The close contacts of these cases will be sent to quarantine centers. And we also received 94 reports from schools, including 61 students and 33 teaching staff. Altogether, 87 schools made these reports. For the 61 students, they include 14 from 14 kindergartens respectively, 29 from primary schools and 17 from secondary schools, and 1 from a special school. 33 teaching staff, 1 belonged to a kindergarten, and 21 belonged to primary schools, and some others in secondary schools. For the 94 positive cases, 54 of them tested positive today. For the remaining 40, they tested positive either yesterday afternoon or earlier. So regarding school clusters, in Kowloon Tong Fun Fo English Primary School, we've identified 2 more positive cases, but these cases are close contacts of previous confirmed cases. So 1 of them are in the same class, 2F, which originally have 3 more cases, and the other case is the brother of the case. And we also picked up another case regarding a staff member of Kiangsu and Chekiang Primary School, the international section. But this case may not be related to previous cases. As for Singapore International School, 2 teaching staff and 1 staff members have tested positive. No other students have been affected. I understand that the school will be suspended for 2 days for thorough disinfection and cleansing. We will closely monitor the situation. As for death cases, the hospital authority have not reported any new case, so the tally stands at 9,088, and in the 5th wave the total count is 9,176. As for the mutant strains BA.4, the latest figures as of today, we have 23 imported cases. BA.5, 35 imported cases, as well as 1 local case, which could be related to imported cases. We reported on the case earlier. That's a worker working at the apron of the airport. And also BA.4, BA.5, which we just reported, which is picked up on the 9th day. As for BA.1.1, we have 111 imported cases. As for local cases, 51 cases have been confirmed. We also have 14 new cases recorded today, which are suspected to be BA.2.12.1. These are sporadic cases, except a 52-year-old female who lives in Lausanne Mansion in Tai Kwu Sing. And previously, there was another case in the same building on different floor, and the case was also subject to compulsory testing notice. And there is also another case in Taiping Estate, Ping Hei House, and 1 case together with 2 family members have been confirmed, and so far we have not identified other cases. We also have another case in Tower 6 of Wai Lam Wan Bun in Cheung Kwan O, a 46-year-old female, and so far we cannot identify any linkage with other cases. And there is another case living in One Ho Man Tin, a 48-year-old female, and so far we cannot find any connection with other cases. There are also 6 other cases that may be related with each other, but no apparent linkage with other cases have been identified. 4 cases lived in the Island Garden number 33 in Chai Wan Road. As for 2 other cases, they live in Kwun Chang Gok in Bun Dak Court, and these 2 cases visited the other cases, so there might be infection. And previously, we recorded another case in Kwun Dak Yuen, albeit not the same building. For 2 other cases, 1 lives in Fun Yen Court in Dong Yen Estate, Tower 2, and the other case lives in Bo Fong Garden in the Eastern District. And these 2 cases happen to visit the same restaurant around 2 p.m. on the 1st of June. They respectively visited 003 and 004, shop 003 to 004 of City Plaza 2. That's a Yunnan restaurant. They do not know each other. They had a meal with their respective family members, but they stay in the restaurant around the same time. So these 2 cases could be related. And of course, this restaurant will be subject to compulsory testing notice. As for bar clusters, just an update, 2 more cases for Link. Altogether, 95 cases have been recorded. We've conducted whole genome sequencing, and we found that Link and Iron Fairies have similar substrains. And 3 cases visited Iron Ferries on the 21st of May and then Link on the 28th of May, and there could be transmission by these cases. As for Shuffle, some more cases have been identified, but I need to check the for details. I don't have the figures with me. That concludes my report.
Dr. Sarah Ho, please. There are now 370 confirmed patients undergoing treatment in hospital. Of them, 52 were newly admitted, and those who need to be in isolation facilities, of them, 91 of them are in isolation wards. 5 are in Tier 2 isolation wards. 33 patients are in the North Atlanta Hospital Hong Kong Infection Control Center. Altogether, 26 newly confirmed patients in there. Yesterday, there were no newly reported critical case. 1 patient was in serious condition. Right now, those undergoing treatment in hospital, 12 are in critical condition. 5 are in serious condition. Of them, 4 critically ill patients are in ICU. Yesterday, there were no new reported death cases. In the past 24 hours, 52 patients have recovered. They include 46 patients who have been discharged. Under the 5th wave of the pandemic, 50,652 patients have recovered. They include 50,264 patients who have been discharged. Since 2020, early 2020, Hong Kong has got 63,032 patients who have recovered. Among them, 62,640 patients have been discharged. 1 patient actually underwent screening within hospital and found to be confirmed, and one of his fellow patients in the ward will be classified as close contact. Among the staff, 23,617 staff have been confirmed. Of them, 23,473 staff have reported back to their duties. That's the end of my report. It's now time for Q&A, so please use the mic passed to you and tell us before you ask a question which media outlet you're from. This gentleman here. I'm from Hong Kong 01. I want to ask about the figures in relation to screening of RAT tests. You said there were 310 confirmed cases yesterday. Do you have a breakdown of the number of cases each day? And the total of 500 plus, is it because of delay in RAT and that drove up the figures? And the ultimate RAT cases, are you expecting a delay in the report of those RAT cases? And in the international session of the Jiangsu Chekiang Primary School, which are the channel of transmission for the confirmed cases? In the Singapore International School, are the confirmed students, the students confirmed with disease, are they in the same class? And what duties were the staff infected responsible for? The staff concerned at the Jiangsu Chekiang Primary School, the staff is a school worker, manual worker, and the worker didn't have direct contact with the students, but we would not rule out the possibility that he might have had contact with the infected students, so we need to monitor the situation first. And your other question about Singapore International School, the 3 persons concerned, including, they are 2 teachers and 1 school worker. So they must have been to different classes. But among them, they did not have meals together. So because of the cases involving the staff, the school will go for a thorough cleansing and will monitor after the cleansing whether there will be new cases found in the school. Number of RAT results and tests. What sort of breakdown you want? Sorry, the speaker is not using mic. We don't have a detailed breakdown, but I think most cases were from the 5th and 6th of June. This person here in white. Good afternoon, I'm from Now TV. The online reporting system, the cases reported there, have they been updated? And also, are there any discrepancy between the updated cases and the number of RAT cases? Well, those who've been screened and tested positive, they are included, put as part of the 300 plus cases. And those cases which tested negative in the follow-up screening, they'll be deleted. So the 301 are all cases that have been reviewed and tested positive. This one, I'm from Cable. Follow-up question. Just now you said that people infected with 4 people infected with BA.2.12.1. What is the result of the genetic analysis? And in the Yanyun Court in Fanling, those 2 cases that are in Fanling, have you found the source of the infection? And also in Home 18 estate, there are 19 cases and resulting in a compulsory testing order there. And there are also suspected cases in relation to that. Do you think that there could be a mini outbreak there in the estate, and the other buildings in the same estate, would they be subject to compulsory testing because they share, people in these blocks share the same corridor and podium? And also, how many cases of the RAT test who have been deleted as a result of the PCR test in the past week? Well, we've seen a daily average of about 500 cases. So what does the CHP think of the trend of the pandemic right now? The number of clusters now in the community, are you expecting the 6th wave coming? The previously suspected cases of BA.2.12.1, we haven't been able to find any links among them. We would have told you if we have found any links between them. As for the Home 18 estate Shikming House, the cases there, they are not of the L452 variant, so they may not be related to other cases. The cases deleted earlier, they make about 15 to 25% of the overall cases. We think that there's been a slight increase in the number of cases, whether in terms of school outbreaks or on the basis of RAT results. But in terms of severe cases or death cases or hospitalization cases, there hasn't been any obvious increase. So we need to monitor the situation continuously. Next one, this lady over here. I'm from Hong Kong Economic Times. Of the confirmed cases today, if you deduct the total should be 293 for today. So would you say that the newly added cases or newly found cases today should be 293? And in the RAT tests done, there seem to be 36 that were not actually that had not been reported, and yet they tested positive in PCR testing. Between June 6th, of all the RAT tests, have they been screened by using PCR tests again already? And also, the school's RAT results, those cases, are they covered in today's figure? And we've seen an increase in the number of untraceable cases. Are you expecting an outbreak of the variant BA.2.12.1 in the community? After confirmed 51 local cases, what are the symptoms? And also, what about the types of shots that these cases have got? Would these cases result in the discovery of a new subvariant?
In relation to the total number, we reported 301 PCR confirmed cases. The majority of them were reported to us either on the 6th, the 4th, or the 5th of June. So there are 30 cases not reported either on the 5th or the 6th of June, and starting from yesterday, we did not report on the RAT positive cases. So we have excluded the previously reported cases as new cases. I mean, in the coming 2 or 3 days, the figure should become stable, and that the total number will be included in our daily reporting. As for students, sometimes there might be a delay, say when they have conducted PCR tests, their cases might have been included in our database. But if they only conducted RAT this morning, they needed to report to us for a confirmatory test before they're included. But these are separate figures. They are not included in the 588 cases. In the community, indeed, we have found close to 10 transmission chains regarding BA.2.12.1. All these cases only exhibit mild symptoms. It's no different to other cases of BA.2, and we have not identified any serious cases. From overseas experience, we understand that this substrain is highly transmissible, but other than that, it's not particularly serious. Right, that is why 1.2,003,597 cases is a total tally. Next, this gentleman. I'm from AM 730. You mentioned the 3 students, or the 3 cases not having meals in the school, in the Singapore International School. So what is the channel of contact or transmission in the school? And you talked about a sibling in the Kowloon Town Funful English Primary School. Are we talking about the same class or another class? For BA.2.12.1, the suspected cases are scattered in Fanlang, Shangshui, and Ho Man Tin. So can we say that we're starting to see transmissions in these districts? And are you suggesting that members of the public should not be too worried about BA.2 outbreaks? For the Singapore International School, these cases concern teaching staff and other staff. They use the staff room, but other than that, apparently they did not stay together for a meal, but there could be transmission even with masks on in campuses, and that is why the school will be subject to thorough disinfection and cleansing to curb transmission chains. As for the additional case in Funful English Primary School, I mean, there are 2 additional cases. They are brothers. One is in 2F, the other is 1F. It's hard to tell. For BA.2.12.1, we're seeing cases emerging in different districts. And similar to the characteristics of Omicron, perhaps for BA.2.12.1, there may be silent transmissions that are hard to detect, sometimes in the same district, sometimes in the same building, or in the same area frequented by many. I'm from Mingpao. I'd like to ask about the case in Tai Kwu Shing, BA.2.12.1. During the same time, they visited the same restaurant. How many others also had meals there at the same time? And also, there are more cases belonging to the BA.2.12.1 sublineage. What is your assessment? And are there similar sublineage cases in different districts? And would you regard it as the virus being spread to other districts? As for the suspected BA.4 cases, would you say that they are imported cases or local cases? Are there other cases identified in the same quarantine hotel during the same time? Did they go to any restaurants? As for RAT cases? Is it that they are required to declare the positive cases online, and would they be included in your PCR confirmatory tests? And will you follow the existing mechanism? Would you report to us the RAT positive cases first before requesting a PCR confirmatory test, or the other way round? For the Ashima Yunnan restaurant in City Plaza, we need to get vaccine pass information to verify how many patrons visited the same restaurant at the same time. For the suspected BA.4, BA.5 case, we suspect that it is an imported case, but there aren't any other cases in the hotel that the case stayed. Perhaps the case previously got infected and it's a repositive case. It needs to be verified. In the quarantine hotels, and for cases identified and imported cases as well, because the tests are done in a controlled environment, we will not conduct PCR confirmatory tests again. We just take them as having been reviewed by PCR and confirmed, and that these positive cases will be announced, will be reported in the same day. As for members of the public, using the declaration platform is different. For these cases, they only need to tell the hotels, and that a special approach will be taken for these cases. As for the cases we previously reported, we started with Taikushing and Homentin, Kuntek Court, and it seems that we're seeing cases in different districts, some in Chung Kwan O, Diamond Hill, and Sha Tin. If there are no other questions, that's the end of today's press briefing. Thank you. Let me supplement. For Shuffle, there are 17 cases, including 91, means 9 patrons and 6 staffers. Around 30.